everybody and welcome back to Fantastic Funfold Night. Today is Monday, so Monday nights at 8 p.m. I do my live video series here on Facebook called Fantastic Funfolds. My name is Tatiana. I am from Tatiana Creative Stamping Adventure, and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. You know you're watching live if you see the little red live there. Otherwise you're watching a recording, but that's all perfectly fine. You can enjoy that too. Please still say hi whether you're live or watching the recording, because I love seeing all your comments. It just really does bring a smile to my face. Hello everybody, I'm a few minutes late today and everyone's jumping in on quite quickly. Excellent. Tonight we're going to do another variation of the bridge card. Yes, that's the one. We're going to create a scene with layers. I don't know how else to explain that except for by showing you. I'm really excited about tonight's. So no point watching me here. Let's head to the craft desk and get started. Wonderful. As I already said, we are going to do another variation. Well, I wouldn't actually, it's not a variation. We're going to build upon the bridge card that we did last week, except we're going to start from scratch again, and I'm going to show you how to add another layer into the bridge card to make it more, I guess, fun and fantastic. Okay, so I am going to be using today Balmy Blue, excuse me, and we're going to cut the base as we did last week. So I wanted 14.8 centimeters high, which is half the A4 cardstock, and if you're using letter, that would be at 5.5 inches. And then I'm cutting it at 13.5, which in inches, if you're using, what is it, letter cardstock, I just gonna plug in my phone. There we go. That's at 4.25, and then I'm scoring at 1.5 centimeters from the edge. 1.5, and then at 3 centimeters from the edge, and do that from both sides. So 1.5. And then in inches, using letter cardstock, you want to score at 1/2 inch and then at 1 inch. As so. That is our base. Now we're going to create the bridge. The bridge is 4 centimeters in height. And in inches you would, actually, sorry, whoops, the bridge I wanted to do differently today. Yeah, no, scratch that. Bridge is going to be done differently. We're going to skip the bridge for the moment, and we're going to do the optional step, which is creating the card at the back, which you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about, but that's at 17.5 centimeters. Not 17, that's at 7.5 centimeters wide, and that's at 15.8, which was a little bit difficult last week because 15.5, 6, 7, 8, 15.8, and then in inches that is at 3.25 by 6 inches, and then I'm scoring 1 centimeter down from the top, and in inches you're scoring at 1/2 inch from the top. All of these measurements will be on my blog, so I do blog this after the video, and it'll be up on my blog about next week. So don't panic, they'll be all written out for you, easy to follow. Excellent. Then we need a insert using Whisper White, so that we have space to write on, and that is being cut at 14.3 centimeters, so 14.3. Put that to the side, and by 7 centimeters, which in inches is 5 1/4 by 3 inches. You'll see that fits nicely right there. Now for, I'm going to do, I want to add a layer of Whisper White on the inside. So last week we added a layer here, which was Designer Series paper, and that's the same size as this one right here. So I just need to cut it at 7 centimeters again. That's that. And then we want another piece which is 8.9 millimeters, and I do apologize that today I haven't been so organized and I haven't worked out the inch version of this. So I will pop that on my blog when it's ready. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link to the blog post will be in this video, in the video description, should I say. And doesn't hugely matter how high I cut this, but I've suggested 13 centimeters, and you'll understand why it doesn't massively matter later. But we do need to score this one, and we're scoring 7 millimeters from each side. So that's 5, 6, 7. All of this will make sense when we start putting it together. That's 7. So bear with me. That's 1. And then now we do need to create the bridge. Bridge needs to be 15 centimeters. There we go. So this one, so the bridge is, nope, it's 10.5 centimeters. Yeah, that one will work. So that's 10.5 centimeters. And what's this height? This is approximately 7.1. It's not hugely matters the height. You'll see, I'll show you in a moment. But the thing that's important, oh no, the bridge we don't score, so that's perfect. We can put our trimmer to the side. Now I'm going to grab my bone folder and do the scoring. So I fold along the second score line, the furthest inwards, and then the first score line, fold back upon itself. Hello Leslie, lovely to, well I don't really get to see you, you get to see me more, but lovely for you to join me. So this is the same as last week's bridge card up to this point. And let's do this bit as well. So I'm folding that down and I'm going to join that to the back of my card as so. Now I like to use tear and tape for this one because I don't want this to become detached, and tear and tape is a lovely strong adhesive. So I'm putting some on and it's really easy to use. Place it down and then you can peel back the release paper and stick it down. It's really good for 3D projects because it gives you that extra strength and lines up with the top there. Yep. And as so that's our fun fold there, and that gives us some space to do some writing on. And I will glue down our insert, so it's one of the 2 inserts that we cut. Straight away. So bits that I don't need lying around on my table, I like to adhere them straight down onto my project so that I don't lose them. So that is almost the basics of a bridge card, but before I adhere this insert, I am going to die cut it. So I'm really excited about this part. Ooh. I have purchased these dies. They're called Happy Dies. They do have a coordinating stamp set, which I didn't get because I didn't feel like I needed it, but I wanted these dies. And I really wanted these dies because of this. It's a cloud shaped, or cloud die. I don't know what to call it. But, so we're going to take this die and, ooh, I like that positioning. So we're going to die cut this piece, die cut the top so that it becomes a little bit of a cloud top thing. Hello Margaret, thank you for joining and sharing. So I'm just using a bit of washi tape, and I can bring in the lovely, oh, it might be easier if I use it this way. This is our brand new Stampin' Die cut, stamping, cut and emboss machine. So I'm going to place that in. That die does fit the width. And how cool is it to have brand new plates? Ones that do not, well, not do not, ones that are not so well loved, let's just say. So I've run that through. And now we have some clouds. And then we had this piece, this white piece with the score lines. They're going to sit on top, but I want it to make sure it's sitting lower than that, and we're also going to die cut that. So actually, I'll take the machine to one side first. So the heights of these were rough, just to give me enough playroom, I guess you could say, so this is going to sit yay, and then that's going to sit on top of that, and I want to make sure it's lower down and also a different kind of cut of clouds so that they're not lined up per se. Yeah, I'm going to go about down here. So we could have cut that shorter really, but I'm more of a on the eye kind of thing, like I measure by eye person, so it was hard to say. So again, placing that on the Stampin', what is it called? Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and running that through. This runs so smoothly. Love it. And hey, the table doesn't shake when I run it through too, so that's also a great bonus. And we're going to need to run our bridge bit through as well. So again, I didn't, no, that's the wrong piece. Where's the bridge piece? Where did it go? What did I say? The bridge should be 10.5 centimeters. Is this 10.5 centimeters? Oh, it might be the right one. No, it's the wrong one. And of course, I don't have my ruler here. Hold on. Too many white pieces. That's 10 centimeters. We need it at 10.5. I'm just going to cut another one. So the bridge needs to be 10.5 centimeters wide. And the height, actually, we can cut the height as we need it in a moment. So I'm going to bring in that lovely cloud die one more time. And I'm going to cut this one. So we're kind of creating a field of clouds. I am going to do it as so. So I'm going to go straight near the top. And then we can trim that down to the height we need. So one last run through. Oh, that's the cutting plate. I'm trying to keep one plate that I cut on, and then one plate that I place on top to keep it nice and clean. send that through. And let's adhere these and then we can decide on the height. So this one goes down onto, or inside our card, onto our card, onto our card. And I've cut this to have a little bit of a border around. So that balmy blue is showing through. Now this one, if you remember, we have two score lines. This is what, so I'm going to fold them to the back, and these score lines are going to allow it to sit between the two layers. So it's going to sit between this layer and the bridge part. And I've cut that, well, I've made that score line half the width of this so that it sits up there. So you're starting to see the picture build as so. Now I am going to be sneaky. Well, sneaky, tricky. Actually, no. Do you know what? This is a perfect moment to use the new Stampin' Seal Plus. This is the new Stampin' Seal Plus, as I've just said, and when you use it, the tape is lots of little lines, so it's not a solid, well, it's sort of like a solid tape, but it's, I'm not even sure if the video will pick this up, but can you see that? Each time you run it, there's little stripes. So this is a perfect moment to be using those little stripes because I am needing only a small amount. Oh, I need the adhesive, but I don't need it to go over the edge. And if it does, you can just fold it down. The tear and tape is too wide. For that reason, I'm not using it. And oh, mine keeps, I keep doing the flicking motion, which you don't need to with this one. I'm so used to the old fast fuse. Who remembers the fast fuse? My class members had a, well, they hated the fast fuse. They didn't agree with them. And I've got to say, I had trouble with the fast fuse, but I did like it. Okay, so I've now added the adhesive to the sides there. It's sitting. I'm placing it where it needs to be and then folding up. Folding up. And so now I can rub that down. Rub that side down. And now that layer, can you see? Oh, it's hard to see, bad lighting, but that layer is now sitting in the middle. And then we've got our last layer of clouds there, and I'm happy with that, so I'm gonna, it's very technical here, very specific measurements. Just, I made a mark where I'd like that to be trimmed off at. It's one of those cards with the cloud design, it doesn't have to be absolutely spot on in height wise because clouds are all over the place. What are we thinking so far? Does anyone have any questions or comments? I'm seeing a thumbs up. And I'm just going to use tear and tape on this since it was there and I didn't want to fiddle with liquid glue at this point. Where did that go? I do like to use the pointy end of my take your pick tool. There it is. You're liking it, Leslie? You can see what concept I'm going with here. Thank you for the likes there. And so this corner is lining up with that bottom corner. There we go. And then this one lines up that one. So the card folds flat, as we knew, so that it can fit in an envelope. It can fold that way or that way, but we're creating a nice little cloud scene with this bridge card design. And since I'm using these happy dies, we might even use this one too, because that would be fun. That would be really fun across there, wouldn't it? I thought we'd be fun, lots of fun today, to use these balloon dies, which I have already cut out for the purpose of saving some time. And I've cut them out from the Rainbow Glimmer paper. This paper is fabulous. It was new in the annual catalogue, the 2020 to 2021 annual catalogue. It's 2 sheets of 12 by 12, but this is a 1 sheet of 6 by 12, and you can just see the beautiful gradient of colours. This is Granny Apple Green into, I think it goes into Bermuda Bay, and then Rich Razzleberry, Mango Melody, and this is Daffodil Delight. Not Mango Melody, what was it? Magenta Madness. Oh. And then Daffodil Delight. And then there's these tones in between that are beautiful. Anyhow, I have been loving it, and if you notice my Zany Zebras online class that has been released, the previews may have hinted that it uses this paper. So I thought it would be kind of neat to add these balloons to all the different layers here. That way we're totally rocking, emphasizing all the different, I know that's very symmetrical, but I kind of like that. And then you could have, let's start with that. And if you noticed the dies, I'll bring them back in. There's also this cute twirly whirly string for the balloons. So I've done some die cutting of them too. I'm loving it. Okay, let's start with these top ones here. Thank you, Kathy. Hi, Ida. How are you? Hope you're staying safe. Hope all the Victorians, are there many Victorians watching tonight? I hope you're all safe and sound. I know it's been a long lockdown, but no buts there actually. I know it's been a long lockdown and it's exhausting, and I do feel for you guys. So I'm going to glue these balloons down first, making sure I'm not adding glue at the top there because it's going over the edge of that cloud. Elizabeth is asking, is there a certain way you have to use the Stampin' Seal? I have not used it enough to answer that, to be honest, Elizabeth. I still prefer the liquid glue. I am a liquid glue girl. There's no way about it. No way around it, should I say. Now, one thing, when you're positioning these balloons or whatever you choose to put into your card, make sure they're not sitting on the edges of the inside bits, because otherwise they'll get squished by the fold. But you can put things on the edges here because they won't be squished. Well, I hope you're keeping safe there, Elizabeth. I haven't used the Stampin' Seal too much. I have used the Stampin' Seal Plus a little bit, which is what I used tonight. And what's great about the Plus is because it's got those little, I don't know what to call them, perforations, lines, segments, I think that's the best word. Because they've got all the little segments, I find it really easy to use. And when I die cut these little strings, I did have, so these are cut from, let me just double check, Smoky Slate, and I have added the adhesive backed sheets to them so that I don't have to add tiny strips of glue to this, I can just peel that off and add it in. Now it may have made more sense to add these bits before I had all the layers, but not as fun. You know, who doesn't need a challenge here and there? And you may have noticed the ends don't have the adhesive back sheets, and it doesn't really matter. The main thing is that I've got the main bit down, and I might actually shorten that one. I just ripped it. I add it to this balloon, and I didn't add glue to the bottom of the balloon, so that'll allow me to lift that up and position that string underneath. And I don't need the full length of that. So, you know, I'm cutting them so accurately. You probably should use snips, but whoops. So carefully lifting the little end of the balloon to place that down. Let's do this one. So I've got floating balloons. There. The string is a lot easier to adhere because it's got that adhesive back sheets, and I've got to say they're really thin. I've used non-Stampin' Up brand of adhesive back sheets before, and I found them really thick and horrible to work with because of the thickness, whereas these Stampin' Up ones, gotta say, it's really lovely to work with because of the lack of thickness. And one more, can I get a, yep, if I cut that, I can get that little swirl in. Now I know that I haven't done any stamping yet. I'm going to have to find a happy birthday sentiment somewhere to go with this. I wanted to add all my balloons first. I'm going to trim those. I will use snips now. So I'm using my paper snips just to trim the ends off there. And oh, I wanted to add this. So let's cut. Oh, got a perfect spot. I'm going to die cut that from the glimmer paper. I'm going to use this bit up here, so it's a bit of colors that we don't have on our project yet, but work nicely. Hello Joan, thank you for joining me and for sharing. So one more bring in of the beautiful machine. Such a mouthful. Such a mouthful to say. I need to give it a nickname. I haven't decided on the nickname yet. Okay, so there we go. Ah, that went through so smoothly. Don't need that bit. Ah, that even fell right out. Oh, it's so cute. Put that there. We might need another one actually. I think we need another one. What do we think? Yeah, definitely. So let's move this down and do another die cut. Ooh. I love this machine. So this is only available currently to demonstrators. If you don't have a die cutting machine, I highly recommend this one. And it is recommended retail of $209, but you can get it for $169 plus get another $26 worth of products for that $169. And that is simply by joining my Stamping Adventurers team. And then you get any other demonstrated discounts on top. There we go. I am liking that. Does it need another one? What do we think? Let me know. Write in comments, do you think it needs 2 or should I add a third? So write 2 or 3 in the comments and I will, in the meantime, attach the 2 that we have. And we can use the other bits in another project or inside. So I've just got to add glue to 2 triangles on the ends. Adding glue, 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 glue. Renee's saying 3. Yep, I'm thinking 3 too. Got 2 votes for 3. What I'm going to do is flatten that and put that there. I agree with everybody, so let's, while that one's gluing and flattening, Lou also agrees with 3. I agree with 3 too. So let's bring this in for one final cut. Oh, nope, onto that. Don't cut on plate number 2. I have done a video with the unboxing of this when it arrived last week. And you get, in that video I explained the different plates as well. Yeah, everyone's in agreement, 3. Marlene, if I'm pronouncing that right, I hope, but please don't hate me if I don't. I do agree with you. Odd numbers seem to work better. How cool is this die? It's the first time I've used this die. Gotta be say. Use the cloud one heaps. Heaps and heaps and heaps. Okay, so that one, the first one has stuck down nicely, and now again 2 triangles there. Do the 2 triangles off the edge and I'll trim that later. So last 2 triangles here, trying not to add too much glue. I said second last and the third last on this side. And the reason why I'm flattening it and adding my block is purely to just give it some weight so that it sits down quite nicely. And what I've found is that you just need to trim off that last little section. Lou, it is a fabulous die set. So it does have a coordinating stamp set that you could stamp some balloons and then you can die cut them, or what else is there in it? Yeah, let's put that one, let's stretch that one across there. So 3, can add, oh no, I'll add glue 2 to those. Sorry, I'm stopping mid-sentence because I want to make sure I get the glue right. Fun is that? Once again, plop that down just for a few seconds, and while it's doing that, I'm going to bring out my catalogue. Tools, Stamparatus, Storage, Colors, Punches, Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, and I just want to find the stamp set that coordinates with it, just so that you know what's in it. So there's the It's So Much Happy bundle, and it's featured on page 45. So let's flick to page 45. Ooh, can't count. Here it is. So it has some lovely sentiments. It's got the happy. You can die cut the happy out as well, which is not what we've done today. I have been doing a bit of this. That has been a lot of fun. Check out my blog post tomorrow morning. Like I said, you can stamp the balloons and die cut them out. Happy to celebrate you. So very happy. Happy graduation. Happy birthday. Happy to have you in my life. Happy to know you. Do you know what? They are lovely sentiments. And a good stringy stamp. But for some reason, I just decided I didn't need the stamp set. Kind of thinking I need it now. What do we think? Okay. I think we need a sentiment to go with this. What do we want? What do I have? What do I have? What do I have? Bum, bum, bum. I haven't forgotten, haven't lost you. That's Christmas. This calls for confetti. What do we think? This calls for confetti, or I was just going to go with happy. Oh, let's just go with happy birthday. This is from the, thank you, Rosalie. So I've picked the sentiment from Zany Zebras, since it's my current online class, which is available to purchase now. All you have to do is purchase the stamp set, essentially. And I have got listed what other supplies you need. But basically the stamp set, and then you get get a card kit from me where you create 6 projects, 2 of 3 designs. So 3 designs, 2 of each, and you get access to a video where I walk you through the process. And everything's die cut for you, and you get lots of pieces of this beautiful glimmer paper. What color? I think Bermuda Bay. Let's stamp in Bermuda Bay. It's been a while since I've used Bermuda Bay, so I'm going to place that right there. Happy birthday. Right there, and no card is complete until we also decorate the inside. And do not waste anything. We're going to add the little bunting from that we cut off from the front to the inside here. There. Let's see. Add another piece across the top there. And I have no idea how we should decorate the envelope though. Oh, I have an idea. And we should add, so there's not much space to write, so if you want to write on this card, maybe leave out all the balloons and stuff. Thank you, Rosalie. Rosalie, I don't know why I said Rosalie. Well, which way do you prefer? Not that you could easily type the difference. Are you keeping well and safe? That's the main thing. And did I have bits left over of string? Aha. I've got one left. Just going to trim it so that it's all got the adhesive backed sheet. So imagine trying to put glue on the back of that. It's very delicate. Now peel that off. Wouldn't be able to get that glue, the liquid glue anyway, nicely and easily onto that. If I trim that there, then I can use it on this one. Perfect. Because you've got to have string on your balloon, it can't just be floating off as so. And I said I had an idea for the envelope. I'm going to take that happy birthday stamp, which I have no idea where I put it. Oh, there it is. And we're going to go birthday crazy. So that would be a fun birthday card for any age, really. I mean, I guess it's kiddish, but honestly, who wouldn't want to get one of these in their mail? It's so cute. Just giving my desk a little bit of a clearing so that you can see the project in its finished form. So it's a bit, I don't know what to call it, a layered, there we go, it's a layered bridge card and layered cloud bridge card. You're good with sparkly balloons. Excellent, Leslie, I love to hear that. We've got to just trim that bunting right there. Just that tiny bit because of the angle. I love it, Leslie. Kid at heart though. So yes, that's the bridge card. It does fold nice and flat, so you can go either way so that you can send it in the mail. I'll show you that it fits into an envelope. Carefully. There we go. So there. See, fits nicely into an envelope and then stands up with lots of dimension, lots of fun, and still got a bit of space to write because there's not really anywhere on the front to write. You could potentially just stick some Whisper White on the back of this and write on that, but that means kind of writing on the back of all your fun layers. So I like this little addition here. Yes, well, that for now, unless I find another variation of bridge cards, that for now concludes the bridge cards, the last 2 weeks. So the previous 2 videos we did bridge cards as well. And next Monday night I'll be back at 8 PM to do a different fun fold. If you have if any of the products I used tonight have tickled your fancy, let me know so that I can help you out in purchasing it. Everything is available in my online store, don't know the wording, but you can purchase that through me if you are in Australia and don't have a demonstrator already. Otherwise, do ask your local Stampin' Up demonstrator. Oh good, I'm glad, Leslie. The series isn't finished. Fantastic Fun Folds is coming back, just with a different fun fold. I think I should end it there. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope I've inspired you to be a bit creative this week, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.